What's happening now is just as disastrous and irreversible as what happened in Russia in 1917.
Of course, it's not a war of Russia and Ukraine, it is a war against Russia, and Russia will outrageously lose in this war. Russia is losing all its close allies and friends. Whom are we going to be making friends with? The purpose of propaganda is not to convince you in anything, but to give you a reason why you don't have to do anything. And acting in such a logic, a person can put up with anything. There are no limitations for that. Indifference and passiveness, if it turns into mobilization and enthusiasm, then we fall into totalitarian state. So it didn't happen yet, so we're talking about various things, we're philosophizing, but if it happens, everything will be lost. Many people in Russia would be ready to sacrifice their life right away, right now, if it can stop the war. It's a sabotage. Yes, it's a sabotage. Everything that we see, it's sabotage against the country.
I'm wordless to express my emotions. First, it felt like I'm back in 1995, and it's a horrible feeling. The European Union had its session in the Council of Europe, and there were standing ovation for Zelensky, president of Ukraine, when he came there. And he's short, and he came there to the podium and said, I don't have notes, I'll speak just like it is. He was talking without showing off, without all these passes, smart, reserved. And then after him, there was this big man speaking, and I think he was the head of one of the parliamentary groups, and he started crying. He was also speaking without notes, and from time to time he was wiping off his tears, and the whole parliament got on their feet, and there was standing ovation for both of them. They've paid quite a price for the ovation. They haven't yet.
I would say this is a great challenge for all humanity, to all progressive people. Because we kind of think, it's 21st century, all evil is in the past, and even this evil, it's kind of caricature evil, and it's more for some movies and books and Lord of the Rings. And yes, of course, it happened in Rwanda and somewhere else, but not in Europe. And then, all of a sudden, it turns out that technology, progress, had a minimum impact on human progress. Clearly, somewhere, these processes were going in parallel, but in some areas, it turned out they were in different dimensions. You give someone an iPhone or an Android, you teach them how to use modern technology, they can see what's going on in the world, but in fact, it doesn't stop crimes, and sometimes it even contributes to crimes. When we see Russian officers and soldiers, they're proud of what they're doing, committing those crimes, and they're sharing that footage with others, and somehow they're actually helping justice in the future. So, and this image of monkey within a grenade, at this point, is taking shape. We know what we did. This elite, they got bloated with their own propaganda, and now they're vomiting it all over the country. Patriotism turned out to be hatred of others, whereas it should be love to your own country. Putin is laughing out loud when they tell him about the Western values. He's laughing in their face. At once everything got outdated. What happened? They destroyed the future.
Let's be frank. This monster fed itself because it was created in 1917. It was called VCK, the Special Commission, and communists were using this tool to fight all its enemies, enemies of communism and the Soviet government. In 1991, communism collapsed, Communist Party monopoly vanished, and KGB didn't have any political control. And actually, KGB was trying to get to this situation since 1917. It was trying to grab the power when KGB won't have any control from the Communist Party. KGB was carrying this burden of Communist Party, and they thought in KGB that all the failures of the Soviet state were caused by the Communist Party's control. And in 1991, this control of the Communist Party vanished, and since 1991 to 1999, KGB, through several coups, tried to grab the power, and finally in 2000 they have this power. And in 2000 a completely new time started. For the first time in the human history, and I'm not exaggerating, the power in the state, and not only in just a state, it was a big power, nuclear power, and KGB grabbed it.